Hello everyone, this is my glue therapy glue book. I did a 5-part series on the process for making this, and I wanted to do a really quick run through on all the steps all together so it would be very easy to do. This is my glue therapy process. Okay, it's just a glue book that I needed to relax with. It's all about just gluing stuff down. It didn't matter if it turned out at the end, okay, throw it away, whatever. It doesn't matter. I needed some project just to glue and not to worry and to be stress-free, and this is the perfect project for that. And I do plan on doing another one because I need to have something available just to glue, just to de-stress in my day-to-day life. So there are 2 points to keep in mind when you're doing this. Use things that you like. If you don't like a certain color or certain images, you're not going to like your page or your book or whatever you're doing. You're not going to like it at the end. Use stuff that you like. And in this process, don't judge as you go. This is glue therapy. Just glue stuff down, move on. Don't worry about matching things up or any of that stuff. Don't worry if the colors don't match. Don't worry if it's not put in the right place. Don't worry if it doesn't follow the rules of collage or whatever. This project is meant just to glue stuff down, move on, don't think, don't plan, let it be what it wants to be. Okay? So this is this process that I used for this book. If you want to see a flip through, look at one of the videos below this one. There's a flip through for the entire book. All right. So I started off with random pages. Doesn't matter what the pages are made of. You're going to glue stuff on top of them. Junk journals are really good for this. And when I did this process, I used loose pages. It helped be a little bit more random. But you can use a book that's already put together. It's already sewn together. This is just the process that I did for this one. I grabbed junk pieces of paper, wrapping paper, paper bags. There's a printer test, instructions for taxes and putting shelves together and envelopes, scrapbook paper that I'm trying to get rid of, just a bunch of weird stuff. It doesn't matter what the pages are made of. Painted papers, newspaper, Sudoku pages. It doesn't matter. You're going to glue stuff on top of them. It doesn't matter. If you use plain paper, whatever you want to use. I do like using plain pages just because it makes it a little bit more random as you're going with this. It's easier not to start thinking about what you're doing. So this book is 4 inches by 4 inches. And so I cut my pages or tore my pages to be 8 inches by 4 inches. And that way, when I folded them together, each page is 4 inches square. Okay, fold. So I have 4 pages with 1 piece of paper. And I did that with 25 pieces of paper. So it's a pretty big book. Of course, you don't have to use that many pages. But doing this randomly, it really does go quickly. So if you want to try it out with fewer pages, see how you like the process, then whatever works for you. But like I said, I tried doing it with 25 pages. So I had my pages singly like this. I did my gluing and then I sewed them into the book after. So It was just easier to do randomness with the pages as they were like this. The next step is to gather your collage fodder. And again, I want to stress, gather stuff that you like. Gather things that you enjoy looking at. There's no point in gluing stuff down that you don't like. Okay? So I sort my collage fodder into large, medium, small, and details, tiny little things, focal points, things like that. I stay away from focal points with the large, medium, and small. And the reason for that is I found myself coming across a focal point and it makes me stop and think, okay, where should I put this? You know, I can't cover up a face, or I can't do that. You know, if they are a simple, you know, nondescript kinds of things that I'm gluing down, it's so much easier to grab something, glue it down, and move on to something else without thinking. This is a great project to do in front of the TV, so you're paying attention to something else and you're not really concentrating on trying to make something nice, something good, something that you can post on Instagram or whatever. This is all about just grabbing a piece of paper and gluing it down to the page, okay? So I start large, medium, small, and that allows me not to think so much about what do I need on this page, all right? And again, there's not a whole lot of focal points in here. There's just a variety of different kinds of papers, scrapbook papers and painted papers and tickets and text, just random. Here's some candy wrapper, magazine, color bits, just random stuff. It doesn't matter what colors they are. All the colors go together eventually. That's a focal point. Put that in the other box. It doesn't matter, all right? Just make sure that you've got large, medium, and small, okay? And I put my stuff in large, medium, and small baskets. So when I'm going, I don't have to think, okay, was this my small, or was this my medium, or is this my large? I can see it really quickly and be able to recognize stuff and not worry about it. So these are my little details and some focal points. I might use these at the end when I've got a bunch of stuff down on the page already and I want a little something, some kind of focal point, some kind of something. They're all here in case I want to use them. I don't always go to this basket, just sometimes. I didn't for that project that I did. All right, so the process is simple. Let me get my large basket out here. The process is very, very simple. Get your pages out. Let me put this so we can see things. You get your pages out and fold them so that you know where each page is. That might be too shiny. Here's just a plain piece of paper. All right. And what you do is you grab a large bit, and you won't want your large bits to be way large. You want your collage fodder to be the way it's going to be glued down. You don't want to stop and tear off a little bit because it's too large. You don't want to stop and fussy cut something. You don't want to stop, you just want to glue. So make sure your little bits are ready to glue. You're not going to have to fuss with them as you get to them. So you want to start with one large something. Glue it to the page. Doesn't matter where, doesn't matter what color it is. Then go to the next page. and glue something down. Grab something out of the basket so you're not even looking. Just grab something and glue it down, and don't worry about anything else. You're only allowed to glue one thing down at a time on each page, then move on. This is going to stop you from planning out a pretty collage. It's going to stop you from, thinking too much. You're just gluing paper down. And just continue on until you have one large something on each of the pages. And then go to your medium little bits. And this is where it gets really random. Just grab something medium and glue it down, but only one something to each page before you go to another one. Say I glued that down. Let me just grab something randomly and just glue it down. Don't think about it too much. Just go to the next page. Glue something down. Random. Don't worry about it. It could be upside down. It could be, whatever. Don't worry about it. And this is the reason I like to have the pages not sewn into a book so that they can be really random. I can grab a page out of my pile, especially when I'm at the medium stage, and then I can just glue one bit down. Hopefully there's a large something down, and then put it back in the pile. I might grab that one again at one point so that I'm not gluing the exact same number of pieces down to each page. It gets more random. It gets more interesting. So there's different amounts of collage fodder on each page. Not thinking about, anything. You just go on. And I may go through the medium. I really like the medium for adding a bunch of stuff to the page. I might go through the medium, 2 or 3 times and just add one something to the page. So it does help to have one large something on each page before you get to the medium. And then at some point, I get the small stuff out. And then I just repeat the process all over again. So I've got, some things already there, and not to worry, just put something small down. And there's no focal point, so I'm not worried about covering up somebody's face or, any of that stuff. I'm just gluing paper down. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter at all what it is. Just enjoy the process of gluing. Don't judge as you go. Oh, this is ugly. This is, whatever. Just keep going and just keep gluing. Don't worry about the end result. This is not a project for making pretty collages, for making a pretty book. This is not that. This is just a glue therapy book. You'll be surprised if you're using things that you like. You'll be surprised at the end how much you do like the end result. All right. So this process allows me to just glue things down without thinking. I'm not planning. I'm not matching colors up. I'm not trying to add a focal point. So this is something, something I need something here. Let me see if I can find something that'll go there. It's not about that. It's all random. It's all completely unexpected. It's random. And it ends up being really something wonderful at the end. It's unexpected, and it really ends up being really, really cool. So when you get to the point where you feel like you've got enough stuff on the pages, that's when you get to start looking at things. This is the time when you get to really maybe judge yourself a little bit and see what you've got. Sometimes things are really boring, and that's when I bring out the focal points, the details. I might, add a little something to the page if it needs it. Or I may not. It just, depends. This is the fun part, you've already got a background, you've already got something interesting. You might want to just add something to the page, and it will be really cool. What I like about this is it's really random. It's really unexpected, and it's really interesting at the end. It's funny how things happen when you're not planning, when you're letting something just be what it is. You're not planning it, it just happens. Just let go and let it be whatever it wants to be, and I think you're going to be a little bit more happy when you don't have an expectation of, well, I'm trying to make this really pretty collage, and then it doesn't turn out the exact way it is in your mind. This is more a surprise. Like, oh, well, that's kind of cool. I didn't expect that. And it is a happy surprise. It's random, and it is really a fun process. It's really stress-free. So that is the whole thing in a nutshell. Grab some pages. And if you want to do this in a book that's already sewn together, a junk journal, something that you want to use, it's the same thing. It's a little bit more difficult to be completely random, but, turn a page, only add something to a page, then turn the page, add one. That way you're not trying to plan each page as it goes, and you're just gluing stuff down. But it can be done in a book that's already sewn together. All right. I hope this helps some people. This can be done in any size. I do like square. For some reason, square really makes me happy. It just makes me happy. I enjoy little square things, so it does make me happy. It is an easy process. Don't overthink it. Do not overthink it. Just don't judge as you go. Use what you like. Use what you have, and enjoy it. Relax with it. And I hope you enjoy this. Thanks for watching.